Hi, I'm world champion figure skater Alyssa Liu, and this is Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Steph, I'm guessing you requested a little bit of a longer run tonight than everyone else got?
That's kind of been my usual pattern in preseason. Try to slowly build every game. That's close to a full scope of minutes, just to, get over the hump, your second win, and feel what it feels like down the stretch after a couple of breaks. So it's more mental than anything, just to kind of get ready for Tuesday.
It certainly looks pretty good for you. Do you feel very, very good going into the season?
As good as I can. Taking advantage of the off season. We've had a really good camp overall. It's obviously been tough. A couple of injuries with Moses and Jimmy missing some time, but as long as we come hopefully on Tuesday with as many guys ready to go as possible, and hopefully get off to a good start, I feel good, and I think we're excited.
You kind of mentioned it there, but how urgent do you feel the opening week is, opening month is? I know last year we talked about 12-3. But it feels like at least you came to camp with an urgency to get off to a hot start.
Yeah, it was the same mission. It's the same mission every year. Last year we accomplished it, and then the wheels fell out a little bit. But no matter, you don't really want to fast forward too much, or panic if it doesn't go well to begin with. But you want to have intentionality on how you're trying to start out on both ends of the floor. Understanding, again, we're a team that is building on a foundation we had last year, so you want to win the first game. That's kind of how you take it, and it's exciting knowing we're starting on the road against a team that I'm sure Bron's not playing, but is lethal, with Luka. So good test to start out, and hopefully we can hit the ground running.
How do you feel the minutes with both Draymond and Al in the front court went tonight and in the preseason overall?
Preseason overall, I felt like it was great. Tonight was a rough start. We had turnovers left and right. I think we had 9 turnovers in the first 5 minutes. A lot of that is, the Clippers are a unique defensive team, no matter who's out there. But we had some mental lapses. But I think overall we understand what we're trying to do. And those two guys defensively are going to be great. I think it helps Draymond to have Al out there as another spacer. But we just got to be a little bit more sound offensively, taking care of the ball. I think that's something y'all probably get sick of hearing it as much as we get sick of saying it. And if we can take care of the ball, no matter what lineup is out there, then we'll be in good shape.
Devin, how much was that can be blamed on the makeshift lineups you guys are going through with the guys that are out, and how much of it was just sloppy play?
I would say more sloppy play just in general, but preseason is interesting because you have, to your point, where you're trying stuff out, but there's not as much game plan preparation in the sense of, what do the Clippers do well? Like, we have a mentality to kind of approach. You save a lot of that for the regular season. And it's not like we're in the locker room like talking about how do we, pick them apart this particular game. So that is different in the regular season, and I feel like we'd have a little bit more mindfulness on who we're playing against, as opposed to saying, we're trying to work on our offense, and you play the Lakers, Clippers, Portland, 3 totally different teams. It'll expose some stuff if you're not doing that. So I feel like we're wise enough to know when the regular season starts to take advantage of actual game plan.
Steph, what was your vantage point of Brandon's collision, his injury scare early in the game there?
I did not see it at all.
You didn't see it at all?
No.
Just as far as him throughout this preseason, where have you maybe seen him progress going into year 3? Everyone talks about that year 3 leap. You've been around Brandon now a lot. What have you seen out of him throughout the preseason?
He's just playing. He's playing with a lot of energy. He's playing competitive like he always does. We're doing some new offensive stuff, so there's still some things to iron out. where shots might be coming from, where driving lanes are coming from, teams that switch versus traditional defenses. Kind of back to the last question on, it's hard to really understand how everybody's playing just because game plan discipline isn't necessarily there. But we want him to shoot when he's open. We want him to make the simple play, be scrappy on defense. And that Laker game was great. He's a guy, numbers don't necessarily reflect, his impact. So I don't want him to get caught up in that either. Just keep playing hard and things will take care of themselves.
I don't think you had any last-second shots tonight, but haven't been able to ask you, what do you think about the heave rule? You're somebody famous for always taking them, and as Draymond says, the rule is with the Warriors, you must take them. Now that those don't count, does that bother you that rule has been changed, or are you in support of it?
I used to be like the grumpy old guy sitting on the porch just yelling at people who didn't take that shot because they were afraid of what it does to their shooting percentage, and they kind of took that away. So now I know guys will be out there just throwing them, which, I love the ability to, in the quarter, just giving yourself a shot, never shy. But BP slung one tonight. I still don't know what the actual rule is. Like, where is the
35 feet, the last 3 seconds. But the fourth quarter doesn't count.
So that's too much to think about. Just play basketball.
3-3. Well, I think I asked you about this before the rule. You're like, I expect to make them.
I
It
care
doesn't.
less.
Yeah.
I mean, I get 10 extra field goals maybe throughout a whole season. Is that really?
You made 4 of them last year.
Was that 4? 4 for what? I don't know.
Yeah, they don't. The exact numbers they don't have because they got to go back through every single one. But
much ado about nothing.
Cool, thank you. Yes, yes.
I know turnovers are never your favorite thing, but last preseason game, it's definitely a different kind of lineup. Does the 10 turnovers the first quarter bother as much as it might any other time?
Well, 9 in the first, 6 in the first, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. Yeah, 9 in the first 6, yeah, so that bothers me. We definitely had a turnover problem throughout the preseason, but I'm confident that when the lights go on Tuesday, our guys will be locked in. And, we didn't have a lot of consistent lineups in the preseason. We had, a lot of mix and match lineups, but that's not an excuse for the careless ones. And so we've got to improve. We need a couple of good days of practice before we head out to LA, but I'm confident we can be fine.
Steve, on a night where several teams rested their stars, what is the value of having Steph in your mind? What is the value of playing Steph 30 minutes tonight, last preseason game?
He's been ramping up, and I think the most he had played was in Portland, maybe 24, 25 minutes, and he wanted to get to 30 tonight. All of this was by design. He took the night off in LA, I think it was, a middle game. So this is his routine. He likes to get the last preseason game, get to around 30 minutes, and he's ready to roll.
Steve, how much of a factor do you think it was that you're using sort of makeshift lineups and shifting lineups and rotations in terms of the turnovers throughout the preseason?
That's some of it, but some of it is just careless play and lack of fundamentals, and one-hand passes off the dribble when 2 hands are available. And if you have 2 hands on the pass on the ball and the guy cuts as you're passing, you can pull it back. But one hand, you throw it out of bounds, and we had several of those. So fundamental stuff has to improve. But I think Jimmy solves a lot of that. You remember last year, I think we were 25 and 26 without him. And then, and turned it over frequently. But after we got him, the game made a lot more sense. There was more control to the game. We cut our turnovers way back, and we started winning. So no coincidence.
Steve. Do you have kind of a game plan as to how you're going to manage everybody's minutes, especially like maybe in the first, I don't know, like 2 weeks of the season, just to sort of kind of get off to a decent roll of things?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we're going to be able to play guys right away, much more than 30. And that's not uncommon, especially with the shorter preseason now. We're a week less than what we used to have. We're going to have to ease into things a little bit, but we have a lot of depth, and it doesn't take long, for these guys to go from 25 to 34. So it's probably a week or so, but there's more to it. There's a rhythm, there's a comfort level playing together, and we haven't found that yet, clearly.
What are the next few days for you look like? What do you want to accomplish before LA? And, I think Nick asked you pregame, but you expect to have Jimmy and Kuminga and pretty much everybody besides Moody in those practices?
Yeah. So tomorrow I'll go to the No Kings rally because I hate America. That's the plan. That's what I heard anyway. If you go, you hate America. So, no, we'll take tomorrow off, and the next 2 days after that, we need good solid practices. Jimmy will work. He got a really good session in today. We didn't want to play him because he had missed, like 4 straight days. And so he got a great session in today. So did JK. I expect both guys to practice Sunday, Monday, and be ready to play Tuesday.
Hey, Steve. What'd you make of, we got to see a little bit more of Draymond and Al Horford together in that starting lineup. What'd you make of their play tonight? Well,
they're going to be a good pair because they're both so good defensively, and they match pretty well offensively too, with Al spacing the floor and Draymond making plays and setting screen. Both guys are great screen setters for Steph, and so I'm really excited about that combination.
Steve, you talked about Steph's conditioning a lot over the years, but he's 37. He's playing 30 minutes in the preseason game. Just how insane is it that he can still have this level at this age?
Well, he works at it all year round, and that's he's one of the best conditioned athletes I've ever seen. But it doesn't just happen. I mean, he's obviously got some good genes, but he works at it, and he keeps himself in shape. Everything is planned. So the build-up that led to the 30 minutes that's been happening, for the last several months. So he's incredible to watch.
So, Steve, just from summer league to the end of preseason, what's your assessment on Will Richard and just how comfortable you are with putting him out there after 2 straight starts already? Yeah, Will can really play. It's exciting. You can see it when he's out there. The game makes sense. He's in the right spot. The ball moves. He's not afraid to shoot it. He's good defensively. I think Will is going to be in the league for a long time, and he won't start out the season in the rotation most likely. I shouldn't say that because we'll see who's healthy and who's not on Tuesday. But if everyone's healthy, he's on the outside looking in right now. But I have no doubt that he will get his opportunities this year, and he'll be ready for them. That's it.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks.
How do you feel just like at the end of the preseason, head towards the regular season?
Happy that we're done with that part, and and we can get ready to start.
What do you feel like went wrong in those first 6 minutes?
A lot of turnovers, a lot of careless turnovers. I started with one. They doubled the post, and I threw it out of bounds. And I feel like after that, we just kind of snowballed and did that. So it's we just have to be more aware because a lot of them were careless. So I'm sure that's something in the next 2 days in practice we'll look at, and we'll make sure that we're better.
What do you think are the keys offensively in lineups with you and Draymond together?
It's continuing to play with with the pace and making sure the spacing is good. Just making sure that one of us always gets to space, and we kind of play out of that, and just finding ways to make the game easy. So that's just something that will continue to get better.
Al, you said you're happy that it's over. Now you got to look forward to the season, obviously. When you look at this 82-game season, how do you sort of play out how to manage your body and just stay in condition for what you need to do and be out there as much as you can?
Yeah, no question. I feel like the performing staff here, the medical group, does a really good job with that. As soon as I got here, they've been, helping me to put me in the best position to be ready to perform. And for me, it's really just staying consistent with that and with that plan, and understanding that we play very different here. The game is faster, and there's different challenges. So for me, it's just really making sure that I'm doing everything I can to stay healthy and ready to play.
You mentioned that you want to try and fix those turnovers the next couple of days before game one. How easy is it to sort of fix that? Because you guys have been rotations and lineups all over the place.
Yeah, no question. I do think that once Jimmy gets back out there and all our guys, I feel like there will be more of an awareness, an urgency, and understanding that we have to take care of the ball. We understand how important that is, and I feel like everybody's we're all thoughtful about it. So I think that we'll be better.
I know part of the maintenance plan last year was no back-to-backs. Do you expect to sit on one side of back-to-backs this year also?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. The medical group here will determine that, and that's something that's how we've manage the season. So we'll see what happens with that.
Cool, great.
Yep. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Sharks reporter Tara Sloan for Bay Area Sports Wrap. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel.